Prime Minister, non-elected. Essentially, he politically represents the 1% in the world, the most privileged, the most wealthy people who own 95% of the wealth in the world. This is who he and his hard-right cohort represent. So, as we've got a bit of noise, I think we should equal that with a bit. Let's start off with a bit of chants.
Hey!
So we can start off with hey ho, Boris Johnson's got to go. I said hey ho, Boris Johnson's got to go. I said hey ho, Boris Johnson's got to go. I said hey ho,
Boris Johnson's got to go.
I said hey ho,
Johnson's got to go.
I said hey ho,
Johnson's got to go.
I said hey ho, Stephen Crab's got to go. I said hey ho, Stephen Crab's got to go. I said hey ho, Stephen Crab's got to go. I said hey ho, Simon Hart's got to go. I said hey ho, Simon Hart's got to go. Thank you. We'll make some louder noise later. Anyway, let's get to our first speaker, who is Philippa Thompson, who's the Labour Party parliamentary candidate for this constituency.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Boris Johnson's decision to suspend our parliament is a decision to silence all our voices. Whether you voted Leave or Remain, make no mistake, your voice will no longer be heard. I'd like to give you two dates. 1215, the Magna Carta and King John. 1628, the Petition of Right and Charles I. For 400 years, our democratic right to be heard, to be listened to, has been protected. And now the rule of law in our country is under threat. So what the rule of law means is the balance we currently enjoy between the executive, government, the legislature, parliament, and the judiciary, our laws. And Boris Johnson has put all this in peril to force through a no-deal Brexit. No-deal Brexit threatens jobs, livelihoods, the economy of our country, of Wales, of Pembrokeshire. And why? Because the WTO tariff the government has decided on will decimate our steel industry. Thousands of jobs in Port Talbot and Llanelli are at risk, and that's just down the road. They will decimate our farming industry, particularly farmers here in Wales and in Pembrokeshire. And if you're a Leave voter and support the Brexit Party, then know that Boris Johnson is doing this to protect his own Tory party, to destroy yours. This is all this is about. It's not about delivering the Brexit you may or may not have voted for. It is to silence your voices along with everyone else. And what the Labour Party is offering is the chance to bring together our divided communities, our divided families. The Labour Party is offering to rebuild our nation, to rebuild Britain. And how will we do this? By investing in our country, in all of us, by putting an end once and for all to the Tories' damaging policy of austerity and cuts to our services. And that's why it's brilliant that the Pembrokeshire People's Assembly Against Austerity and others have organised this event today. We can only achieve this by working together. Come the general election, and that could be any day now, please stop, think and listen to what I am offering for Selly Pembrokeshire as your voice in Westminster. To beat Stephen Crabb, and we came so close last time, I beat him by only 300.
Hey!
I need you to place your trust in me, and going back 400 years again, that is what it's all about, restoring trust in the law, restoring trust in Parliament, keeping all our voices. And that's what I offer you as parliamentary candidate for the Labour Party. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Philippa. should mention before I forget that Jim Scott here has these wonderful Tories Out t-shirts to sell for £13, is that right?
Yeah, over on the stall over there.
Okay, so get your Tories Out t-shirts. Okay, the next speaker is Barry Daines from the Green Party, Pembrokeshire Green Party.
Can only clap one-handed. Can only clap one-handed.
Democracy should mean power to the people.
Can't hear you.
Closer. Somehow we've all chosen to be power to the common people.
Can't hear you.
Can you hear me yet?
Shout!
I don't know.
Get very close to the microphone. It doesn't matter which one, just talk into it like it was a tune.
You have to be so mean to it.
We are governed by a small group of people who are out of touch with our distant problems. Our elected members have done very little to improve lives in Pembrokeshire. They consistently voted in line with their party policy rather than for the best interests of their constituents. Their actions have caused further cuts to our health board. They have helped to slowly eradicate any local educational opportunities. Previously approved parliaments have been followed by military rule after beheading the monarch. The Green Party might disapprove of royalty, but we are not savages.
Behead the monarch!
Right. We need to save our environment, which is more important than any petty political shenanigans. I am sorry to be the bearer of bad news, but Green Party policy is to look for a positive solution and for everyone to take positive, practical action. Everyone has a skill to offer. Pembrokeshire has a great many worthy projects that are run by volunteers when they should be properly funded. There will be distractions, such as tribal concerns or the media's divide and rule tactics, and it's too late to bother with those. You can disagree with someone's outlook, but still achieve some level of common ground. Do we need to be governed by impractical people that we would never seek advice from? No. Let our elders and betters shut themselves down. Ideally, Parliament in its current form would never resume, and we could save a vast amount of money and resources.
Thank you very much indeed. Okay, I'd like to just quickly read out a statement from Kerith Griffiths, who's an FBU organiser. Find it.
I don't. My face.
Yeah, so this is from Kerith Griffiths, FBU, sending solidarity to this protest. He says, good evening, comrades. My sincere apologies that I'm not to be with you this evening. And even though I'm not able to be with you, you can be assured of the FBU's full support and solidarity for this event and similar events taking place up and down the country. Boris Johnson is everything that is wrong with the British political system. He is everything that is wrong with politics. He sits in 10 Downing Street, having been put there by a few thousand people. It's about 93,000. He has no mandate to be there and has no mandate to shut down the people's democratic system in the way that he is proposing. But let's not forget, this is the same Boris Johnson who, as Mayor of London, closed 10 London fire stations and to all intents and purposes sacked 550 firefighters in an undemocratic attack on the workforce. The result is that we now see more people dying from fire because of his policies. And let's not forget Grenfell. Boris Johnson has blood in his hands. Solidarity forever, comrades.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ian. And one of my favourite campaigners next is Jackie Gilderdale from the WASPI campaign.
Okay, yeah. Everybody hear me? Right. Nos without pawb. Good evening. Welcome to Haverfordwest. If you haven't seen me before, people know me as the mad one with the red hair. We've been running the WASPI campaign in Haverfordwest now for 7 years, believe it or not. It started off with a small group of 5 women. The 3.8 million 1950s women across the UK have been denied their state pensions. This is what our fight for justice is about. Tory government policies imposed upon the women through the 1995 and 2011 Acts. You think I'd know this off by heart by now. But they had no letter, no notice, no pension. Okay, I personally believe that the pension policy of this sad government is the most unjust government policy since the poll tax. These women have had little or no time to adapt and prepare to have no pension. They have had approximately £45,000 stolen from them. They paid into their pension pot through their national insurance, through a lifetime of work, raising their families, acting as carers for other members of their families. They did all the right things, only to be told when it came for them to get paid, sorry, tough luck, you've got to work another 6 years. Stephen Crabb, as we all know, he was a DWP minister at one time, and at the last general election, WASPI attended every hustings. He promised us all at that hustings that he would support the 3,800 women affected in his constituency. Simon Hart has 3,400 affected in his constituency. He told us and promised us he would help. He was voted in, and what did he do? He wrote a letter to Guy Opperman and then told the party line. He's been seen on TV, it's on YouTube, he said it was fiscally impossible. Well, it's fiscally irresponsible of his former Finance Minister, Philip Hammond, to use the National Insurance Fund, to offset the national debt. He had no right to use our money. Simon Hart, he told his constituents that there's no point him meeting them, as nothing has changed. Well, Mr. Hart, I got a message for you. A lot has changed. On the 5th and 6th of June, Michael Mansfield QC, through the Back to 60s campaign group, took on the government and the DWP. We're still waiting for the outcome. It's supposed to be end of October. Michael Mansfield does not take on cases that he knows he wouldn't win. He's beaten the DWP and the Tory government 3 times to date in relation to the DWP policies. So, as we see, in Wales now, we are working all 1950s groups together, not just WASPI on their own, to make one voice. We're being led at the moment by Jackie Jones MEP and Unison Wales. All the trade unions are backing us. When we were in Cardiff at our last rally in Cardiff, a former UKIP member said to our WASPI ladies, it's about time you took an all-age apprenticeship out. They were aged 63 and the lady they told was on 2 walking sticks. Pension credits have been changed. So these women are now double suffering, because if they're in a partnership and their husband is younger than them, they can't have pension credits because both partners have to be pensionable age. Last October, I'll finish off quickly, last October I challenged Boris outside Parliament. And he asked me, well, where are you from? I said, Pembrokeshire. He said, where's that? So much for Stephen Crabb having a close contact with Boris Johnson. So we contend our fight will continue. 7 years and still counting, but we contend that the real reason for the increase in pension age was not about equality, but it was a quick win austerity measure where women were seen as disposable resources. Men are affected too. Men born in 1954 at the beginning will get their pensions this month. Men born in August 54 have got to wait another 12 months. So men are affected too. So we want the Tories out.
Yay! Well said.
Our next speaker is from Prime Minister. It's Cris Tomos, councillor Cris Tomos.
Hey.
Noswaith dda, diolch yn fawr iawn. Thank you very much and a good evening. Jackie, totally agree. We need to have powers in Wales so we can support the people of Wales. The pensionable ladies of Wales need to be supported. Do you agree?
Yes.
And the only way we can do that is by getting the Tories out. We want the Tories
Out.
We want the Tories
Out.
Get the Tories
Out.
Get Boris Johnson
Out.
That's what we want in Wales. And like Cymru, obviously we want to see greater powers in Wales, but at the moment we're hearing the voice of democracy being silent across the land. And people have fought over centuries. Philippa giving us that history, important history lessons of how people have fought for democracy. And here in Wales, even back in the 15th century with our own parliament in Machynlleth, Hywel Dda, King Hywel Dda in Whitland, powers for Wales. We have a tradition that Wales can stand for what's right. We've seen the NHS being formed in the valleys of Wales, and from there going across the whole country. So now is the time for the voice of Wales to be heard in Westminster. But the only way we can do that is by Boris Johnson changing his mind and not suspending Parliament. Parliament has to have a voice. That's where debate happens. That's where we scrutinise what is being put forward by law. So it's vitally important that we now, from every party across Wales, across the United Kingdom, that we look at different solutions. The system is broken in Westminster, and we have to look at a new way of operating our country. Here we have the People's Assembly as a great way of developing democracy. People coming together from all walks of life, coming to create a citizens' assembly where we debate amongst ourselves in Pembrokeshire to know what we want as best for Pembrokeshire, as local citizens. And I think we should have that in Pembrokeshire, and I for one will push within the local authority that we have a citizens' assembly for Pembrokeshire with a strong voice to take that forward. I'm a county, I'm a community councillor. I live in Hermon, in the parish of Llanfyrnach in North Pembrokeshire, on the border with Carmarthenshire. So I put myself forward as a community councillor and doing the best for my community in Plymouth and Hermon. But then in 2017 I put my name forward to be a county councillor because I think things needed to change in Pembrokeshire. So things have changed in Pembrokeshire. So we need to see that ripple effect going across Wales and as a swell down to the Thames, down to Westminster, to make sure that Boris Johnson understands there's a canoe waiting for him on the tide that we're bringing from Wales, that he can jump on the canoe and sail down the Thames and out to the North Sea. So all I'm saying is, yes, hwyl fawr Boris Johnson. Hwyl fawr Boris.
Hwyl fawr Boris. Hwyl fawr Boris.
So I say to all political parties in Wales, we have to come together. We've got to make sure that we do as Ireland have done, a great example of how citizen assemblies have worked well in Ireland over the last 10 years. We need to see this happening in Pembrokeshire, and together with our voice as one, we can change the law for our women who should have had retirement. We should be seeing that happening in Wales by our voice being heard in Wales. So let's all go together to London, make sure that we're standing outside Downing Street and making sure Boris Johnson hear that Boris has got to go.
Boris has got to go. Boris has got to go. Boris has got to go.
Thank you very much, Chris. Thank you. We all agree with that. So, our next speaker is Noel Gallagher, who's speaking on behalf of DPAC.
Because it crashes.
Just in case.